Hey guys, I just want to do a review on two different e-boards that I just bought a few months ago. I've been trying out and I couldn't decide between the two, and I'm sure other people were having trouble deciding between the two, so I want to help you guys understand the differences, the weaknesses and strengths of these two boards. So I bought the AE board ax3-10s4p, and I bought the Raldey off-road Mt-v3s. And my experiences with both have been pretty well for the most part. There's a few ups and downs about each board that may change your decision on buying either or that I want to make clear to you. So the AE board I'm going to start off with, it's made of a very nice carbon fiber, very high quality, it's resined over it. You know, it has single bushing trucks. The trucks handle very stiff. It has 110 millimeter wheels. It's hub driven, just like the Raldey. They're both hub driven. And the acceleration is very responsive, and the brakes are very responsive on this board. It's very light, and the trucks being stiff is not so good for commuting at low speeds and trying to maneuver very sharply. It's hard to do. You might as well just pick up the board and walk with it. If you want to maneuver fast at low speeds, it's just not going to work because the trucks just don't move barely. Like, you could tell it's designed for high speeds. And that's exactly what I discovered, that driving this thing at high speeds, it handles very well on very smooth road. But at the same time, on the offhand, you can feel it and you can hear it. So you can feel that the board's hollow, and you can actually feel the battery, you know, rattling around in it a little bit sometimes, especially on rougher roads. It's loud too, like it sounds like a truck with off-road tires. But it feels very stable, very fast, brakes super responsive. But I just gotta say, the one thing that is almost a deal breaker for me is if you wreck this AE board, it's done. Like, the carbon fiber is gonna shatter. It's gonna be ruined. The parts are hard to get for it too, and if you shatter the board, you might as well just buy a whole new board, because that's the most price of the board is the carbon fiber. It's just the material is expensive, you know, that they use, and that's why the board's so much. So if you shatter that board, you know, it's basically total, it's ruined. It just depends how bad you wreck it. Now the Raldey board, let me talk about that for a minute. The Raldey is very loose in its handling. It's a double bushing truck. It's kind of mediocre in its acceleration. It's not slow, but it's not fast like the AE board. And also the brakes, they're not very responsive like the AE boards. It takes a little bit longer for these brakes to kick in for you to feel it a stop, which isn't going to help you in something more sudden. The board's real heavy, and on top of the truck's handling loose, it's not really good for high speeds. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't recommend going over 20-22 miles an hour on this Raldey board, because those loose trucks, as much as you tighten them, they're still loose, and you start feeling speed wobbles, and any little blemish in the road, you feel it. And you don't hear it, but you feel it. You hear it in the AE board, but you feel it in the Raldey. It's weird. The trucks, I would definitely recommend they need to upgrade the trucks, because they're just not stiff enough for the structure of the board, the heaviness and the output. I've almost wrecked a few times on it, just going at higher speeds, getting speed wobbles, when I've never gotten too many speed wobbles at all on the AE board. And then if I did, they were very moderate, and to the point where I felt like, you know, it wouldn't have kicked me off if I wouldn't have caught it and slowed down or did something to stop what I was doing as far as acceleration. But at the same time, it's so rock solid at low speeds, and it handles really good at low speeds. It makes it real easy to ride, when the AE board is, you know, it's more like riding an expensive car that just isn't built for durability. It's built to hide in a garage. So I wouldn't recommend these boards off-road at all, even though the Raldey claims that it can go off-road. I just wouldn't recommend off-roading with these hub boards. I would only recommend off-roading with belt-driven boards. It's just, it just won't work as well. You know, if you try to drive these boards off-road, really any boards don't do that good off-road. They, you know, the companies try to make it look like they do, but they don't really. I wouldn't recommend it. You could get hurt a lot easier, and you can stump yourself a lot easier off-road. I don't know if you've seen other people try to ride these things off-road, but it usually doesn't go well. So just giving you guys a warning. Me personally, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't buy the AE board because it's just not practical with my needs. Even though I like how fast it goes, how stable it feels at high speeds, it's just one wreck and it's totaled, and it's very touchy and sensitive, and it's loud when it rides. So that's something to take in consideration with this AE board. Raldey is very durable, it's very heavy, the trucks are loose, it's forgiving in an accident. You know, you could get, it's probably not going to total it if you wreck the Raldey board. You know, you could get the spare parts and fix it when, you know, the AE board is probably going to be a loss. So I just want to distinguish the differences between these two boards for you guys, and I would also like to hear your opinion on the two boards if you've ridden them, and let me know which ones you like better, or you know, what you think about them. So I'm also going to do a video on safety awareness on these things, and how you can be caught off guard real easily with these boards and get yourself in a mess, and how to look for the signs and you know, to the feelings within yourself to be more intuitive when you're doing things on these boards, especially more dangerous, risky stuff. So I'm gonna post a video on e-board intuition. So give me a comment, let me know what you guys think and your opinions, and I would greatly appreciate it. Alright guys, bye.